Hello everybody, I'm Turnip. Welcome back to my channel, and today I want to talk about clean beauty and how clean really is the clean beauty industry. Well, I have done my fair share of research and I've dug up a few dirty little secrets, so stick around.
Bro, I got something to say to you.
So, what is clean beauty? Well, there's no official definition, but they're supposed to be products that are created from non-toxic ingredients. They're supposed to be products that are created with your health in mind, with the environment in mind. Well, sounds pretty great, right? Sure, but it can actually be a load of bullshit. So stick around and I'll let you in on all the dirty little secrets that the skincare and the cosmetic industry doesn't want you to know. Let's get down and dirty. Alright, before we get into all of this, let me be clear. I am not a dermatologist, a chemist, a scientist, an esthetician, or anything related to being an expert in skincare, makeup, or the creation thereof. None of those things. I work in TV production, and one of the skills I have is research. I ask a lot of questions. So I'm here today to share with you what I have discovered, and you should 100% do your own research regarding clean beauty. And probably you're going to join me in my frustration, because I'm here to tell you this is really, really, really frustrating. That's my disclaimer. Let's get on with it. Okay, so I have a handful of dirty little secrets to share with you. Some legal, some ethical, and some that could straight up save you from having an instant face apocalypse. So, diving into dirty little secret number 1. The skincare and cosmetic industry does not require FDA approval. What? That's right. The FDA doesn't have to approve beauty products before they hit the shelves and you're buying them. Cosmetic firms don't even have to register with the FDA. They don't even submit product formulations. But there is some comedy here. The FDA does have a voluntary cosmetic registration program. You can go online and register voluntarily, because I'm sure everyone is doing that, and I'm sure all these companies that are selling us stuff and want to make money from us are so very honest. Alright, let's back up a second, just so you can see the messed up rabbit hole I went down. Let's cruise on over to the Food and Drug Administration website and read a little portion of what it is they say they do. FDA, what would you say you do here? It says right here, the Food and Drug Administration is responsible for protecting the public health by ensuring the safety, efficacy, and security of human and veterinary drugs, biological products, and medical devices, and by ensuring the safety of our nation's food supply, cosmetics, and products that emit radiation. So based on that, you would think there would be some guidelines or some regulations for cosmetic and skincare companies, and that maybe the FDA would be involved in reviewing the ingredients that are in these products. Well, let's take a little peek at the page that tells us what exactly they regulate. Here's a little portion. They regulate cosmetics including color additives found in makeup and other personal care products, skin moisturizers and cleansers, nail polish, and perfume. It says right there on their page, they regulate that stuff. They say they do it. They say, right? But how? How do they regulate cosmetics? How do they approve cosmetics? Well, keep scrolling and you'll come across this little gem right here. It says right off the bat, they admit, not all of those products undergo pre-market approval. Okay, but you just said you regulate those products. You just say you regulate cosmetics. Let's keep scrolling down the list of what they do and don't approve. Here we go. Oh, FDA does not approve cosmetics. Okay, you regulate it, but you don't approve it. Blah. Okay, well, they have an entire page dedicated to cosmetics. Let's see what that tells us. While the FDA does approve color additives used in cosmetics, it is the responsibility of the cosmetic manufacturers to ensure that their products are safe when used as directed. This is just a big crock of shit. This is not helpful at all. Their website sucks, basically. To sum it up, we know that the FDA claims to regulate cosmetics, but they don't approve them. And so that really adds up to something really spectacular for consumers. I mean, it just means that the FDA trusts manufacturers to do their own testing and to tell the truth about it. Great. Let's do that. No. And so whether or not the FDA has guidelines on how testing is conducted, I don't know. I'm sure that's another entire day of research that I don't have time to do right now because I've got so much more to talk about. So like when I read this, it just makes me feel like cosmetic and skincare companies can basically put whatever they want in their products, which just can't be true, right? So I kept digging, and I guess sometimes you have to ask more specific questions, like what ingredients are they not allowed to put in a product? There has to be some big no-no list, right? Well, there is. It's not that big, but there is a list. But finding that answer is a little tricky, so we'll keep winding down the path to see if we can get exactly the answers that we need. What does the website say? In general, except for color additives and those ingredients that are prohibited or restricted by regulation, a manufacturer may use any ingredient in the formulation of a cosmetic, provided that the ingredient and the finished cosmetic are safe under the labeled or customary conditions of use, that the product is properly labeled, and the use of the ingredient does not otherwise cause the cosmetic to be adulterated or misbranded under the laws that the FDA enforces. What? So they've dropped two words here, adulterated and misbranded. Okay, let's dive into what those mean. First is adulterated. Adulterated as in ingredients and packaging can't be comprised of poisonous substances that could cause injury or ingredients that are considered gross. They use the words filthy, putrid, or decomposed. I hope nobody is using that stuff to make skincare or makeup. Ooh. And products also can't be prepared or packaged in a super nasty environment where conditions are unsanitary. Good. Nobody wants gross on their face, right? I mean, what that really should say is non-toxic products created in clean environments, right? I guess that's what they're saying. All right, so when it comes to questionable ingredients, what are they? What are the restricted ingredients? That list is kind of hard to nail down. And so I had to get really specific and dig into this. Originally, I came across an article by Good Housekeeping that talked about 11 different ingredients that could not be used. And then after some scrounging around on the FDA website, I actually found the list of ingredients. And most of them I cannot pronounce. Biethiol, mercury compounds, vinyl chloride, halogenated yeah, see, all this stuff I can't pronounce. Hey, but the one definite scary one in here that I'm very glad that they can't use in our skincare and our makeup is chloroform. Thanks for including that in your list, guy. That's terrifying. There are some hot topics. There's an existing debate about certain ingredients that should or shouldn't be used. People debate about phthalates and parabens, and the FDA basically claims that they will continue to evaluate and do research on the safety of these products, but they haven't really made a decision on that. So, yay for clarity. There is none. But most clean beauty products avoid those types of products. They avoid parabens, sulfates, silicones, phthalates, and synthetic fragrances. And the list of what they avoid is growing and growing and growing, depending on which clean beauty company you are. So to sum up, adulterated. Those are products that can't be poisonous and they can't be made from something gross. Moving on to misbranding. Misbranding refers to violations involving improperly labeled or deceptively packaged products. The exact quote from the FDA website is, "Its labeling is false or misleading in any particular." Products also must include directions for how to use it safely and warning statements. So with that definition, we would assume that manufacturers can't lie to us or mislead us with their labels, but we all know that's not exactly true, especially when it comes to clean beauty. I feel like there's a little bit of leeway in this and a little bit of looking the other way, which brings me to dirty little secret number 2. Labels can be big, fat liars. Makeup and skincare companies can create any label they want, and they can mislead you if they're so inclined. I mean, and how can I say this with such certainty? Well, a product can market itself as being clean or green. Okay? Companies can drop words like eco, botanical, pure, natural, but none of these words are regulated, nor do they have guidelines. So a company can slap it on the label, and the joke's on you because they're not, and you just spent $100 to rub some pretty questionable all over your face. And that is the way the clean beauty world is working. I'm not saying every company does this, but there's definitely some leeway for a company to claim they're clean if they want to. All of those marketable words are really appealing. But I was reading some article that said not everything natural is safe and good for your face. Like, just take poison ivy, for example. And I laughed for like a good 5 minutes. I mean, just think about it. Some genius out there might start marketing poison ivy treatments because they're all natural, and their tagline is something like, "It's not the rash we're after." Once the peeling begins, a more youthful layer of skin will be revealed. I mean, yeah, so it's true. Not everything that's natural is good for your face. So these clean beauty buzzwords are not regulated. What does that mean for you? Well, it means you as a consumer, it is now your responsibility to do all the research or suffer the consequences, like your face falling off from a chemical burn or just blowing up and becoming one giant zit. And it's important to note that I think people are seeking clean beauty for a reason. Because like, even though you're not digesting the ingredients in these skincare products, your skin is still an organ and it's still absorbing all the weird ingredients you're rubbing on it. So you really should want to know what's going into your products. So all of that being said, clean beauty really is a lifestyle. And I say that because it takes an epic amount of time and research to figure out what you can buy that actually is clean. It is in no way simple to find definitively clean beauty products. It takes all the research in the world, and after all that research, it's unlikely that you'll see that much benefit to your skin because there's only so much topicals can do. But at my age, every little bit counts. So without being a chemist or a scientist, how can you pick out products that are actually clean? Well, number one, you can memorize the short list of products that are proven or majorly suspected of being bad for you. Some of those are parabens, sulfates, sodium lauryl, triclosan, synthetic fragrances, dyes, and some even say talc. And there's a more extensive list than that, but the longer it gets, the harder it is to memorize. Number two, there are also some charts you can study to help you better understand product labels and symbols that they use on packaging. So examples being USDA organic or non-GMO or cruelty-free. And this means that these products are verified by certain sources and that the products pass certain guidelines. But you still have to double check the legitimacy of those organizations before trusting their approval. I mean, where does it end? The research on this never seems to end. So going back to the buzzwords, I actually found a pretty helpful chart on Good Housekeeping, and it kind of breaks down what each of these buzzwords mean. So let's just take a look real quick at some of these. Natural or all natural. What it implies is that a product is made with ingredients sourced from nature, be they plant, mineral, animal, that are minimally modified. Then they have the Good Housekeeping Lab lowdown. Few ingredients are used as is from nature. Natural doesn't always mean healthier. Some natural substances can even be harmful. And then the chart lets us know when we can trust this symbol. So trust it when you see the EcoCert Natural Cosmetic stamp, which confirms that at least half the ingredients are plant-based. All right, moving on to organic. What does that mean? Well, it essentially means that the products are created without pesticides. Great, we love that. So what is the Good Housekeeping Lab lowdown on organic? Well, this one is actually a bright side for me. It says this is the only government-regulated term in the clean beauty space. Something is regulated. How? Who knows? That's research for another day, but at least it is. And we can trust products listed as organic. If it's USDA certified organic, we can trust it. And that just means that 95% of the ingredients are organically cultivated. And then if it's NSF organic certified, that means 70% of the ingredients are organic. So at least there is some regulation there, and there's some way to know if your product is organic. What else do they have? Naturally derived. Natural ingredients in a product have undergone some chemical processing. The lab lowdown says, when you see this term or a similar one like natural origin or made with natural ingredients, look for a qualifier that indicates what percentage of the ingredients it applies to. And we can trust a product labeled naturally derived when the product carries the Good Housekeeping seal, since the Good Housekeeping Institute labs verify all product claims. All right, what does chemical-free imply? Well, a product doesn't contain harmful chemicals like formaldehyde, toluene, or lead. This is exhausting. I don't want any of this in my face products. All right, Good Housekeeping Lab Lowdown. Not all chemicals are created equal. Plus, every ingredient, natural or synthetic, is made up of chemicals. They are even part of human biology. Okay, we can trust something as being chemical-free when the claim is ingredient specific, such as paraben free, or the product has earned the Good Housekeeping seal. So great buzzword chart by Good Housekeeping. Thank you so much for making that. Very helpful to know that at least one word is regulated. So yeah, find a chart, study it, live it, love it, be it. The information is out there, you just have to find it. I also dug up a few other resources for you research fiends out there. One of them is the Made Safe Hazard List, and you can search by category. Their cosmetic search contains makeup, makeup removers, and sunscreen. And they have their own certified brands, and as you can see, the list is pretty limited. But what I would probably use this website for is their actual hazard list, so you can cross-check the ingredients of your beloved products to make sure they pass this test. So another website is the Environmental Working Group Skin Deep Database. The abbreviation for that is EWG for short. They rate products with numbers designated low, medium, or high hazard. For every product and ingredient in Skin Deep, there's a two-part score. One is the hazard score, and the other is the data availability score, which means like maybe they don't know exactly how much of each ingredient is a product, so it'll have a lower data score. The ingredient hazard score is from 1 to 10, and it reflects known or suspected hazards of ingredients. You can search by product, and then it'll give you a rating. I find that you kind of have to cross-check everything. If you have one website that seems to have decent information regarding hazards, you can cross-check it with another. So let's just take something from EWG and compare it with something at Sephora. So like Drunk Elephant, for example, I love their C Firma serum, and it comes with a relatively low EWG rating of 2, and that's based on limited data. This product is clean at Sephora, so that kind of adds up. Like there's low hazard, so it's clean at Sephora. That makes sense. But let's look at another product listed as clean at Sephora. Pharmacy Hydrating Coconut Gel Mask. It doesn't get an EWG stamp of approval, and it's also listed as a moderate hazard with a number of 5, and that's based on limited data. So is it clean or is it not? I don't know. To be honest, you can actually search for most of the products listed as clean at Sephora, and they're not EWG approved, and they kind of have moderate hazards. The only one that gets quite a few approvals by EWG actually is Biossance products. So maybe that cross-checking worked there. We've got 2 websites saying that they're clean, so maybe that's telling. So maybe give Biossance a try if you're really looking for something clean. I might look into them. All right, so the EWG list is a good resource for basic information about whether or not a product is clean. It's not detailed enough for me. So is there something better? Well, maybe. And there's probably an app for that. That app is actually the Think Dirty app. This one gets pretty detailed. It's pretty impressive. What is the Think Dirty app? Well, this app lets you search through a database of more than 1 million personal care products and cosmetics to find out if they contain harmful or potentially toxic ingredients. You can search by brand or product name. You can even scan the product's barcode on your phone. I actually really love the ease of that, just being able to scan something you have. The only problem is a lot of the things I've tried to scan at my house lately aren't actually on Think Dirty yet. So then you can submit the product. Products are assigned ratings from green, which is best, to yellow, which is questionable, and red, which is probably harmful. So they evaluate each ingredient based on a couple of things. They want to know if it's carcinogenic. They want to know if it will cause developmental or reproductive toxicity. They want to know if it can give you an allergic reaction or immunotoxicity. And evaluations are performed by a chemistry team and an advisory board. So they are claiming they get down on these ingredients. Okay, Think Dirty app, let's go ahead and compare some of the products we talked about before on the other websites to this. First is the Drunk Elephant C Firma. Well, this is getting a rating of 5. Most of the ingredients in this product are green, which is good, except for 2. We have Laureth 23, which has a health impact, being that the ingredient can become contaminated. And then it has phenylethanol, and that has a health impact of potentially being a neurotoxin. Well, that sounds terrifying. All right, now let's take a look at the Pharmacy Hydrating Coconut Gel Mask. Again, listed as clean by Sephora, but it wasn't as clean on the EWG list. So here on Think Dirty, it's getting a rating of 6, which is pretty high. It's dinged for 3 ingredients, and one of them is the same one that's in the C-Pharma serum, which is the phenylethanol, which is the potential neurotoxin. No thank you. It also has polyethylene glycols, which has contamination issues, and the big bad guy, fragrance, which can cause allergic reactions. No thank you. And I think that's a pretty good segue to dirty little secret number 3, which is that some clean beauty products are secretly using fragrance, but the code name is essential oils. The use of essential oils in skincare products is a hot topic. It is highly debated. There's really arguments for both sides, and I fell down this rabbit hole when I was trying to help out my friend with rosacea, do some research about what products she could use to maybe help out her skin, and this became no easy task, which is going to lead me to a hot tip alert. That's right, I have a hot tip. Before I buy makeup or skincare, especially if it's a pricey product, I have one source that I always go to see what they say about the products, and that is beautypedia.com. It gives expert ratings and it breaks down why a product is good or bad or ugly, and there's also community reviews. So if someone else bought the product, loved it or hated it, you can find that out. This website was created by Paula Bagoon, who's also known as the Cosmetic Cop. She's spent her life in skincare. She was an esthetician at one point. She created her own skincare line that's called Paula's Choice. And it's true, all of the products by Paula's Choice are highly rated on beautypedia.com, but it's not the only highly rated product. To me, it's less sketchy because she also promotes so many others and gives so many other products, whether it be makeup or skincare, good ratings. You know, and just if you're thinking it's sketch that Beautypedia does promote all of the Paula's Choice products because she's the creator of both, here is a quote from her. We offer our research-driven viewpoints on products from other brands as well as our own products, and then you can decide what works best for you. We love the power of that. You know what, Paula? I love the power of that also. I dig it. That's just a tip. I like to check there first and see what they say. Not every product is on there, but it's always a work in progress, and so that's my hot tip for you. So why am I mentioning this website, beautypedia.com? Well, when I was falling down my rabbit hole, it actually led me to the argument against the use of fragrant essential oils on your face. And it had a pretty good breakdown for me, and I really bought into it because I'm like, yes, I have had irritations for those reasons. So this page breaks down how essential oils can hurt your skin. It talks about which fragrant oils to avoid and what to use instead. And even though she's pimping out her own products, the bottom line is that she says, shop with your nose. Look for things with lack of aroma, or even check out the ingredients list to make sure fragrance isn't listed. So that is one point of view from a highly successful woman in the skincare business, so I'm going to consider it. The opposite viewpoint, specifically when it comes to lavender oil, comes from Robert Tisserand, who has an article about its healing power and specifically disagrees with Paula point by point about her view on essential oils. Robert has 40 years of experience in essential oil blending and aromatherapy product development, including creating functional fragrances for products that combine perfumery principles with the therapeutic, hygienic, and dermatological properties of essential oils. He's not a dermatologist. He has studied essential oils his entire life, so maybe there's some room for his argument as well. So one of the points by Robert Tisserand that I agree with is basically if you look for the negative effects of something, an ingredient, an essential oil, or whatever, you're gonna find it, which is true. I did find a bunch, but what I found more of was actual people writing blogs or articles written with quotes from dermatologists about how there has been a rise in the past 2 to 3 years of people with irritated red skin, and it all kind of comes down to fragrant essential oils. It's not every essential oil, it's the ones that are fragrant. So that's both sides of the coin there, but to be fair, neither of them are doctors or dermatologists, so Up to you to do your own research. And with that, you'll probably come across a lot of the same articles that I did, which interviewed dermatologists, which kind of say the same thing. Essential oils could be fine for you, but if they're not fine for you, you're either going to get an allergic reaction, contact dermatitis, or phototoxic dermatitis, which basically means you're going to have a big explosion on your face when you step out into the sun, especially if you're not wearing sunscreen. So that's another big argument for using sunscreen. If you're going to be using all these hip new face products, you've got to use sunscreen. So just for research and argument's sake, let's head on over to like the most obvious website, dermatologistoncall.com. Okay. So this website breaks down a few skin issues like acne, eczema, psoriasis, and rashes, and then it also lists essential oils that are typically recommended for those skin issues and why they probably won't work. The thing that sticks out the most to me is the phrase, "No clinical research has studied the effectiveness of the approach, so success stories are largely anecdotal." Okay? So the summary here is that essential oils have not been tested in scientific clinical trials and are not regulated by the FDA for medical treatment of skin. The bottom line is that these products are not likely to help treat a true dermatologic ailment, and instead, their use can delay proper treatment of the medical condition. Some products may also directly worsen or be exacerbated by the condition, even leading to new skin reactions. Oh boy. So yeah, I mean, red flags everywhere for me, personally. So, but that really is the thing about skincare, isn't it? It is all trial and error. It's just all really unfortunate when it's a big error all over your face. And then, cross that off the list. It's kind of like booze, You drink something, you think you like it, and then it makes you horribly sick, and then you can never have that booze drink again. For me, that's tequila. Essential oils, tequila, all in the same category for me. Just not going to do it. For the sake of this video, since I've railed really hard against fragrant essential oils, I do want to list a few that are bad for you, potentially. So one of the top dogs I tend to avoid are any of the citrus essential oils: lemon, lime, tangerine, grapefruit, and mandarin and bergamot. Don't do it. Not unless you want a phototoxic reaction. Lavender hits the list, sandalwood, sage. We've got rosemary, patchouli, oregano, neroli, lemongrass, jasmine, ginger, geranium, eucalyptus, clary sage, tea tree, clove, cinnamon bar, peppermint, wintergreen. There's just so much. Oh, and they also list rose, not rose hip. Rose hip is on the go ahead and use it list, but rose is bad. But basically what I've said before, what's good for your nose, not good for your face. I can't say that enough. So what are the good essential oils? Well, these are potentially okay for your skin. I'm not going to say 100% because, again, I'm not an expert in this, but from what I've read, it's any non-fragrant oil or plant extract, and some synthetic oils too. These are potentially good. Argan, jojoba, primrose, barrage seed, safflower seed, apricot, cranberry, avocado, olive, sunflower, pomegranate, and almond oil. Those are all soothing, nourishing. Some of them have replenishing emollients. You can be on the lookout for those. Basically, anything that's not very aromatic. That's what you want to avoid. That's where we're at. That is dirty little secret number 3. So the bottom line to all of this, if you want to use clean beauty products, you're going to have to do research and you're going to find conflicting information. So at the end of the day, you're just going to have to use your best judgment or seek out a dermatologist, which is what we should all probably be doing from the get-go. So for the last of my research, I do want to share a few places where you can attempt to purchase clean beauty products. There are several online stores that are attempting to curate clean beauty products, so it's less of a hassle on you. But again, you're still going to need to check out the ingredients list and double check for yourself. Where can we buy clean beauty? Well, who knows, right? I mean, so much conflicting information out there. But based on what I've read about these places, this is, it's probably a pretty good list. The first place I want to mention is Beauty Counter. Now, self-proclaimed, they are the largest clean beauty brand in the US. What stands out to me is that they've banned more than 1,500 ingredients from their products. many of which you can learn about via their Never list, which is a good thing to review. So another site you can search for clean beauty products is Fall Lane. Fall Lane is a highly curated site offering a variety of clean beauty brands, including their own in-house line, that meet their rigorous 5-step approval process. They have a constantly updated list of restricted ingredients and offer a skin quiz to help you find the most effective products for your particular skin type. And then there's Credo Beauty. They carry more than 115 brands that meet the standards of their own dirty list of harmful ingredients. And then one that we mentioned before is Sephora. They had a clean beauty initiative that they launched in 2018, but we saw how that went. Several of their products didn't meet other websites' list of restricted ingredients, so that one's a do your own research type deal. And then there's several other stores that are launching clean beauty initiatives. CVS is doing it, Target is doing it. Those are supposed to be in the works for 2020. All in all, it seems like the beauty industry is moving to have more clean beauty products in their lineups, which is good. We want good things for our skin, but the topic as a whole is just so frustrating to me. It's just monumentally frustrating. When it comes to products that we are being sold, it is infuriating at how much research, time, and effort we have to put in to figure out if what is being sold is actually what is being sold. Is it clean? Is it not? Who knows? I mean, you can read on and on and on and on and on. So it's enough to drive you crazy. I guess we're on our own out here, folks. And by that, I mean we should really just be hitting up dermatologists. But then again, certain dermatologists have their own line of skincare that they're selling. So can we trust that? Can we? And are they thinking clean, or are they just thinking about what's effective the fastest to keep their patient happy? Who knows? It all depends on what you want, and that's what I mean by you're all alone out there. We are all alone in this, but yet we're alone together here on YouTube. Who else is frustrated? And I guess that's it for this video. If you found it helpful, please give me a thumbs up, and for fun, maybe subscribe and ring the bell for notifications. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, bye.